Honorable Garbin is recognized.
Thank you, Madam. Just a few questions to the representatives of the Ombudsman. Kayo ho'y nagpresenta ng SALN, and what was presented by your office are those SALNs under your custody and the entries, the official entries in those SALN. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
But that entries does not say whether there is a misdeclaration, untruthful declaration, or willful non-disclosure that will lead to unexplained wealth. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, binasa ko lang po kung ano yung, at kinonfirm ko lang po kung ano yung nakalagay sa SALN.
Honorable Garbin, I'm afraid but we are not allowed to raise questions which will go beyond what appears in the SALN.
That's why, Madam Chair, I just need confirmation whether that
Yes.
presentation
Issues concerning
yields to the
misdeclaration.
yields in support to the complainants. First of all, Madam Chair, wala yung complainant dito eh.
I understand, but please limit your questions to
And that's why I
the
want to ask
contents of the
sana yung
affidavit.
complainant
Contents of the
as
SALN.
to his allegation, because it was pointed out that the SALN was only part of a broader allegations of unexplained wealth. But as correctly pointed out by Mr. Marcoleta, or Congressman Marcoleta, those SALN that was, or that we want to specifically pinpoint that have material misdeclaration or untruthful declaration was never attached in the first place
We are
in the
not
complaint.
yet on that, Honorable Garbin.
We
are
were
only on the existence of the SALNs.
we were already through on that. We already approved, voted on the ultimate facts and the sufficiency in substance. And the annexes provided in the complaint, Madam Chair. So what we have here is an improvement of the complaint, of the complainant's evidence. Tayo yung nagpuproduce ng ebidensya eh, which is not supposed to be the case.
With all due respect, Honorable Garbin, the issuance of the subpoena is not for the purpose of adding, supplementing, or correcting whatever appears in the complaint. The purpose of the issuance of subpoena is to test whether the complaint is sufficient already for the existence of probable cause. To
But-
aid the justice members in judging whether or not probable cause exists on the basis of the allegations in the complaint, including the attached documents.
If I may, Madam Chair.
The Honorable Chua.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, let me walk you through Section 7 of our Rules of Procedure in Impeachment Proceedings. Sabi po dito, the committee shall conduct a hearing. The committee, through the chairperson, may limit the period of examination by members of the committee. The committee shall have the power to issue compulsory processes for the attendance of witnesses and the production of documents and other related evidence. So, yun po yung ginagawa po natin dito. This SALN, ito pong SALN na to ay pumapasok po dito po sa power ng committee. Hindi naman po tayo ang nagsasabi niyan. Ang nagsasabi po niyan ay ang ating rules. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, just wish to put forth additional counter-arguments on the points raised by the Honorable Marcoleta and also certain points raised by the Honorable Garbin. Okay, first, we have determined already sufficiency in substance of the complaints. Sufficiency in substance, both in form and substance, and that includes the annexes. Pangalawa po, hindi po required na lahat ng mga pwedeng ebidensya ay dapat na produce na ng complainants at the time of the filing of the complaint. And that's why we have these processes of subpoena para makalakap ng mga ebidensya na nakasabi sa complaint tsaka yung mga related evidence. Ang importante po dito, especially in the issuance of subpoena, yung requirements of specificity or sufficiently described yung mga dokumento na pinapaproduce at yung relevance to the issue. Wala pong duda dun sa mga subpoena po natin ng production for the production of specific documents like respondent SAL-Ns, the AMLAC records of the flagged bank transactions of the respondent, the records of her corporate holdings, records of her financial transactions. These are all relevant to the grounds alleged in the complaint. They directly relate to the issues actually and specifically raised in the third and fourth impeachment complaints, the Sabalia et al. And Cabrera complaints, particularly that respondent purportedly engaged in culpable violation of the Constitution, graft and corruption, bribery, including the accumulation of unexplained and or ill-gotten wealth and her ownership of secret bank accounts worth millions, if not billions of pesos, all of which she did not declare in her SAL-Ns. Doon sa punto na ini-improve daw po natin, actually, there's nothing wrong about that, improving the evidence that are sought to be presented by the complainants, kasi tayo nga po ang magiging prosecutors later, and we are determining at this point the existence of probable cause, and therefore we need the guidance of any other relevant evidence para makarating po sa determinasyon na yan ng existence of probable cause. We develop, we improve, we ask for other additional evidence as long as they are relevant to the issue or issues as alleged in the complaints. So wala pong mga linalabag dito na mga principles pagdating po sa tungkol doon sa kailangan ba na linalagay lahat o pinipresenta na lahat sa complaint pa lang? So malinaw po yan, Madam Chair, hindi po kailangan. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Chel Jokno is recognized.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Wala naman pong pinagkaiba ang ginagawa ng Committee on Justice dun sa ginagawa ng isang prosecutor na nagko-conduct ng preliminary investigation. Just like a prosecutor under the rules of the House, we have the power to issue subpoena to determine what used to be called probable cause, although what is now called certainty of conviction. And para sa akin, mas mahalaga pa nga yung tungkulin natin na yon dahil wala pa naman po tayo sa adversarial stage. We are very clearly in the inquisitorial stage where we are meant to inquire whether there is sufficient probable cause. Kaya po tayo binigyan ng ngipin ng House rules para makapagsubpoena ay para nga makita ang ebidensya. And I'm very disappointed at any attempts to remove that power from us because that is precisely why the Constitution requires that we conduct a hearing. Yung hearing naman natin, hindi para marinig natin yung salita ng iba't ibang mga nandito ngayon, kung hindi makita mismo yung ebidensya. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Madam
Chair.
The
My last
Honorable
manifestation.
Garbin.
Madam Chair.
At the outset, Madam Chair, let me state that I am for the truth and for knowing whether there's material or misdeclaration on the SAL-N. What I'm saying here, the observance of procedural due process. Going back to the complaint, as stated, this specific SAL-N were not attached. And when you say observance of procedural due process, ang tinatawag po doon, paano makakapagsagot yung isang respondent kung wala naman specific allegations doon sa mga iprinisintang SAL-N. We agree that we have compulsory processes to produce those documents relevant to this hearing. but the absence of giving opportunity to the respondent the right to be heard or to answer, and those specific allegations, it's not even a specific allegation because it was part of a broader allegations of unexplained wealth. Ako po ay isang abogado bago mambabatas. Ako po ay dumaan din sa napakaraming preliminary investigation. And kung magpipresenta tayo dito ng dokumento na hindi natin bibigyan ng oportunidad yung inaakusahan dito, then where is the procedural due process? That's why I'm saying, are we
Honorable
proving
Garbin.
the complaint? Or
Honorable
it is
Garbin.
better left to the impeachment court to present all these documents so that the respondent will also have the right to confront those evidence presented against her
Notice is being given to her.
and the right also to examine those specific SALN that allege misdeclarations of unexplained wealth.
Honorable Garbin, I just want to state for the record that since the start of the presentation of witnesses and evidence, we've been sending notices to the Vice President, to the respondent, and as a matter of fact, even after every resource person, we are calling the Vice President to check if she is present so we can cater the opportunity to be heard that you are mentioning. Honorable Garbin, in as far as due process is concerned, I honestly believe that this committee has been amply complying in providing the same to the respondent Vice President. And let us all be reminded that this issue raised by the Honorable Garbin is already pending before the Supreme Court. So with the indulgence of the justice members, perhaps we should leave this to the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court. With that, can we proceed to the presentation?